Okay, hey, hello and welcome guys, and welcome to Showdown. Today I'm going to show you a replay of a game I had. This is probably one of, it starts off very standard, like a game that I do, a lot of chokes, like some misplays, stuff like that. But the end game is so super good. And I'm very proud of it, and I just wanted to share it with you. I have this really what I call weird sand team, where basically I have Tera with sand. No one takes advantage of the fact that I have sand, but because I have 2 grounds and 2 steel types, then I don't care about the sand really. So yeah, it's a weird sand, that's what I like to call it. And we have Quaquaval because Quaquaval is cool and you can win your game for free if you play it well enough. So let's get into the game. We start off pretty simple with a Scizor. Why? Because Scizor is one of the best openings. I can just throw a bullet punch or a U-turn, stuff like that. And I see the Dragapult and I immediately just bullet punch into the Corviknight. I want to get damage on Dragapult. It's fast, why not? And if it does go into Corviknight, then I will know whether it's Rocky Helmet or Lefties. In this case, it is Lefties. I go back into my Corviknight, probably on a U-turn, which he does. And then he goes into Chiyu. Chiyu is the problem, but I go Tera. Literally, the reason for this entire team is so that Tera can wall Chiyu while the rest of the team just not care too much about that or stuff like that, you know, just help the team to just wall Chiyu entirely. He goes for over it does absolutely nothing, so I'm like, okay, yeah, this is Scarf, this is fine, it's not Specs. So I can just throw a Stone Edge, because whatever switching in, it's gonna take some damage. And I stay in, going for a crunch, thinking that I'm going to be faster. I forgot that I don't have that much speed on my Tera, and unfortunately he's able to Roost, which means he kinda walls my Tera with U-turn and Roost and stuff like that. Because my set, yeah. So I just have Crunch and I just don't do that much damage with Crunch, and I take Rocky Helmet, which I really don't want on something that I'm meant to wall Chiyu. I'm at 80%, and as you saw, like, it does like 20 per overheat, so if he gets spikes or Stealth Rock up, I'm in a bit of a problem. I just U-turn on the hat, that's fine, and I go into my Scizor to just hit it with a Bullet Punch. Here, I'm like, okay, I don't know what he want to do, and I don't think Bullet Punch kills, so I'll just U-turn, it will be simple enough. And here I make a mistake, because here, in my mind, I'm like, okay, he Tera'd Water to take the Bullet Punch, whatever, he'll probably go for Draining Kiss. I'm stupid, I don't know why I thought that, but I'm stupid, so I go into my Corviknight, being like, okay, I have to, because I'm like, he's going for like, maybe, Psyshock, predicting my Clodsire or something, I don't know. So I can cover both the Draining Kiss and Psyshock and not go to Clodsire, but rather go to my Corviknight, which will give a Rocky Helmet, and that way the Draining Kiss won't do that much damage to me. Unfortunately, I'm stupid and I didn't realize that he specifically Tera'd to 1v1 my Scizor. So that means that he's 100% going for a Mystical Fire, which does a lot of damage to me, and I'm like, oh, I fucked up. So I just U-turn out of there because I can, and I'm like, okay, I gotta go Tera. I can take, again, I don't think he'll Draining Kiss here because he will not heal anything, and he will take Rocky Helmet. I think that he'll either throw another Mystical Fire or Psyshock on my Clodsire, so I'm like, Tera is very safe here. And I just go Tera, I tank it like it's nothing, and I hit him back with a Stone Edge. And now I can play a game with rocks and spikes. I have spikes on Clod, I have Stealth Rock on Tera, and he goes Quaquaval, and my Clodsire is Water Absorb. Look at my team. I have 1 resistance to water, and it's not an actual water resistance. So yeah, I need water resistances here, and Clodsire does the trick very well. And I'm like, as long as he doesn't have Icy Spinner, I'm good here. He goes for the Aqua Step, and I'm like, fuck yeah. I go for Toxic just for the safe damage, put him on timer. And I'm like, okay, he has nothing for me. I'm a Spike here. He goes into Teen Glue, and I'm like, he wants to set up hazards. No way he's going for Earthquake. I go on a Toxic, put that thing as well on a timer. And then I'm like, okay, I gotta... Here, I'm thinking he either goes for another layer of like Spike, or he Earthquakes to dwindle down my Clodsire. That's my thought process, and my Corviknight is on 13, so now if I switch it in on the Stealth Rock, I can roast it up, you know? I can try to roast it up, get it back to a bit some HP, you know, wall it better, stuff like that. As long as it doesn't go for Whirlwind, which would be very weird on the Clodsire, I'm kind of fine. And unfortunately it goes for the Whirlwind, so I'm like, fuck, okay. That's fine, because he brought my Quaquaval, which is my answer to that, so I'm like, dude, I'll just click Aqua Step, get some speed, why not? and it does 20. It does nothing, and I'm like, fuck, okay, I got a bulk up. He goes for the Roost, and I'm like, oh shit, dude, I got a bulk up again. I'll get defense, that's good. And then he does fucking 50 to me on a Braveyard, and I'm like, fucking shit. So I just close combat to put it on low HP, not let it Roost again or anything like that. And he KOs me back, and he's on 6 HP. So I have to go to something that's faster. In this case, it's Great Tusk. Now, I could just Rapid Spin here and take care of the rocks, but I'm like, I am much better off just knocking off, because I'll still KO this, and if he goes Dragapult, I still KO that, and nothing here really wants to lose their item already. So I'm like, why not? Because I'm faster than them anyway, and I have super effective moves or stuff like that. I have a lot of damage because I'm booster energy as well. So I'm like, I can just knock off here very freely, very easily, and I just OHKO the fucking Dragapult like it's nothing. That threat is gone, and here I'm like, okay, I could stay in and take damage because I think I might live. I'm not sure, I don't know the calcs, but I'm like, why? My Corviknight is literally on 1%, he ain't doing anything. I'm not going to spin on something as of now, so I'll just kill the Corviknight. It's on 1%, dude. I literally just saved it so that I can, like, it's a sack. It's a sack, and that's exactly what I'm doing. He goes for overheat. I'm like, okay, cool, great. I can just go back into my T-Tar. Now this is a very important turn. I go into my T-Tar, and I'm like, okay, I am here with a T-Tar. I don't want Teen Glue coming in because Crunch and Stone Edge aren't going to do anything to him. And I look at the Corviknight there and it's on 6%. If I can just Stealth Rock now on the Teen Glue, which I think is your choice, because if you have Earthquake, you offer like nothing on my team is immune to that, and it's like you can threaten the one thing that stopped Chiyu from like completely smacking through my team. So I'm like, okay, I have to go Stealth Rock now on the Teen Glue, that way the Corviknight can no longer come in, because I can tank whatever Chiyu wants, so that even if it stays in for some weird reason, I can just Stone Edge later, that's fine. And he's not going Quaquaval after Clod completely walls it, so it's whatever, right? So I'm like, okay, let's go for the Stealth Rock, and he goes Corviknight, and I'm like, fuck, because that shit should have been dead. This is the second time the Corviknight should have been dead in this game, and considering how much he walls all of my team, because I'm just a bunch of physical attackers, this is a problem, because he just gets to roast up once again for free, basically. And here I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm in a down position. Even if you Brave Birds won't do too much damage, I have a bunch of physical defense on this anyway. I'll just go for a free Rapid Spin. He goes for the Roost, that's fine, and now I go for the knockoff, because I know that if I take care of his Rocky Helmet, my Scizor can click moves on him. I can U-turn on him for free, I can close combat on him, I can do a lot of damage for free on him, which is very good. And I just knock off his Rocky Helmet, he goes for the Defog, and I'm like, okay, I am not playing with hazards right now, let's just go for damage. And fortunately for me, instead of like roasting or anything like that, he immediately goes for Brave Bird, which puts them on 20%, at which case I'm like, okay, Scizor, this is your time, look at their team, close combats have no switch-ins, I just go for an easy close combat, the Quaquaval comes in, and I'm like, okay, I mean, I could stay in and click another close combat, but I want HP on my Scizor, and I don't think too much of it, and I'm going to my Clodsire, because I know that I can immediately wall it. And then he does just 20% on me, and I'm like, yeah, I can wall it. And at this point I'm like, wait, I could just stay in and go for an Earthquake, but if he goes immediately into my his Corviknight, he can roast again, which means that I'm fucked, because I can't touch him with anything but Scizor, and as long as he's on 20%, I can catch him off and I can kill it. So I double into my Scizor here on what I know is going to be a switch back into the Corviknight, and again, we know that I'm faster because my Corviknight was faster and my Scizor is able to be faster. And he goes back into the Quaquaval, and I get the kill on that, and then he goes Chiyu. And in my head I'm like, okay, clearly he really wants the Roost on the Corviknight. So if he went Chiyu right now, and he knows how much my T-Tar walls it, and he knows that it's faster than my T-Tar, I have to click, he's going to double into the Corviknight here. As simple as it is to just click Flamethrower here or something like that, he's going to double to the Corviknight because he needs HP on that thing. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck you too. And I stay in and I go for the close combat, and I type easy in chat. like the Giga Chat I am, and he forfeits and I get all of his points. So yeah, I found this game quite funny. The end game with the Scizor was just super good on my end. Everything else before that was very mediocre for both of us, if I'm being honest. But yeah, it's a cool show off for my team, an actual legitimately smart thinking end game out of me, which never happens. But yes, with that, I do hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Until then, bye.